What's up, YouTube? It's Gemini Johnny, live for the very first time. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Cassius, Everything Custom, Snowy, Porta Potty Peeper. It's a great name. Hey, thank you for the recommendation. Appreciate it. Jack Allen, another one that I've seen a lot in the chat. Thanks for being here. Yeah, well, as you guys just saw, this is going to be a lot of trial and error because I've never really live streamed before, so we'll figure it out and we'll all learn as we go. It'll be great. And you guys will learn some insider baseball on the YouTube live streaming game. Well, you know, hey, we're all here to watch some creepy TikToks. I have TikTok pulled up and I'm just going through channels. I have some backup videos just in case these are all really bad, but yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Well, hey, I think what I was saying, I don't know. Yeah, going through these TikToks, I found a couple decent channels to search. If you guys have any suggestions or have anything specific you want me to watch, feel free to drop it in the chat. I'll try to find it and we'll watch it. We'll see if we can make it work. I might have to make some adjustments on the fly along the way so that my screen works and you guys can see everything. But like I said, we'll figure it out. Yeah, without further ado, let's jump right in. This is the first one. Let's go.
Creepy.
Maybe.
Creepy images caught on trail cameras.
I don't have any sound. See? See what I mean? Let's try refreshing. Wonderful. And this worked earlier, I swear. I'm gonna also throw in the Q&A. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A thing. Tight. While I figure this out, because this was working. I swear I tested everything and it was all working. Why is my sound not working? This is my luck. I had everything set up perfectly. What's up, Debbie? Another regular in the chat. Might be about to switch to the backup plan because this is annoying. Sorry guys, I know this is really boring. But like I said, we're getting this live stream thing figured out. Boom. Alright. Well, let's get these playing for you.
What you guys are about to see in this video is nearly impossible to understand. Apparently you can see the guys on a wood with his dog recording and chilling in like a normal day. But all of a sudden the dog started acting very strange and the guy got so curious, started following the dog. But dog was following something very dangerous. He got near to this thing. The guy and his camcorder or whatever is recording with realized there's a girl literally levitating between the woods and
do you guys hear audio at all?
Like it's a normal thing. But
uneasy due to eerie sounds from the depths.
This is the worst
outside
live stream ever. Sorry,
On
guys.
the fourth day, they followed the enigmatic sounds to a massive underwater cave spanning 2 miles, believed to be deeper than the Mariana Trench. Inside the cave, they began sensing vibrations, but something felt different this time. As the crew ventured further into the cave's depths, the sounds grew louder and the submarine trembled. On the 6th day, Robert Ferris, a respected sailor, looked out of a small submarine window and saw nothing but murky water. Suddenly,
do you guys just hear me, or you can hear the video too?
Eyeball in the distance. It was unlike anything he had ever seen before, far too large to be a normal creature. Ferris quickly informed Captain Phillips about his astonishing sighting. In response, Captain Phillips ordered an immediate evacuation of the cave. Just as they were about to leave, Captain Phillips urgently radioed NASA control on the coastline, his voice filled with panic. It's coming, help! Just before the communication was cut off, a deep growling sound.
Oh, everything's good. I could have just lied the whole time, pretend like I heard it. This would have been the best. Well, continue. I'm going to continue to try to figure out my audio at least, because it would be way better if I could hear this. I'm glad you guys can hear it. Sorry, I keep talking over it.
Subscribers who have demonstrated support by liking, comment, and sharing this video. Lynn, a young widowed mother, has of late consistently sensed an eerie presence in her residence up until that ominous evening.
Cassius asked...
She decided to ascend the staircase to soothe him.
There we go. Select question. Type. What made you decide to start a YouTube channel? You are a natural. Thanks, Cassius. I actually, just on a whim, I used to watch other people do reaction channels, and I enjoyed watching those. Sorry, trying to talk in between when they're talking. but I can't hear it, so it's kind of hard. But I enjoyed watching reaction channels, and I just on a whim was like, I should start one of these. I could do this. I have all the equipment, like I could get a basic setup going. And yeah, here we are. Thanks, Cassius, for the question. And thank you everybody for letting me know the sounds good.
A family
Still
in
trying to figure
Colombia
it out
had
for
just
myself,
moved into a new home. The person recording is a member of the family who is showing off his parents' new room. As he records the room, his siblings come storming in to let him know that they just saw something really frightening in the other room. This is what they saw.
Sí, esta es la nueva casa de nosotros, esta es la cama de mi mamá, esta es la cama de mi mamá, esta es la cama de mi mamá, esta que lo dejan grabar. Ah, ok, hay algo. Uy, no, sea serio, no, no pongan a jugar así que lo asustan a uno. Pero quietos, 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 no me... No, venga, venga, quieto, quieto. No, no me empujes, sea serio, vaya usted, quieto, quieto. Mire, sí, no hay nada, son bien mentirosos, de ahí no hay nada, son bien... ¡Ay, puta! ¿Qué marica, corra?
A shadow-like figure can be seen standing in the corner of the room.
What do they do?
It's unclear as to what this could have been, but Amanda thinks this might have been a malicious presence. It's not certain if that's the case.
Alright.
One thing is for sure though. Whatever this was had to be truly frightening, as the family's reaction seems genuine. But again, I'll let you
sounds so good for you guys.
Opinion. Ghost or not. Watch the video again and decide for yourself.
If you want to survive this creature, don't make any noise.
Did that thing just fart? Did they just put a ghost fart in there? Sounds so good for you guys. I finally got it working. I don't know what I did, but I'm gonna stop touching things. Yeah, if it sounds so good for you, then I'm gonna keep it going. All right.
The rest of this video is not for the faint. I can only provide protection to those who have liked. Comment on your greatest fear and share.
Well, that video was really dumb, so...
Meet John, a man like any other, except for one terrifying encounter. One night as he was resting in his bedroom, he noticed something unsettling. A creature of some kind had entered his room seemingly in search of him. With his heart pounding in his chest, John hid from sight, trying his best not to make a sound. The creature prowled around, then apparently not finding him, decided needed to leave. Relief flooded John, but then he accidentally dropped something. Prepare yourself. What happens next might make you double-check your hiding spots.
Alright. I think I've seen this before, but, like, come on. So fake. The cool thing about this is you guys are going to see all the crap I have to cut out usually, and, like, these dumb movie reviews and stuff that they sneak into these, so... Fun times.
A kid went missing in Disneyland 60 years ago, and I found him here still, in the same spot. I started working at Disneyland in 1974 at the age of 19 as a custodial. It was a good job to have while I interned for my actual career. One day as I was sweeping Main Street, I felt a tug. It was a little kid. He asked me where his parents were. It was almost dinner. I asked what his name was, and he said Ron. I told him to follow me, and we went inside the nearest gift shop. As I informed the manager about the missing kid, I turned around and he was gone. They never found him. 59 years would pass by, and as I retired from my job, I went back to Disneyland as a custodial. And once again, as I sweep the streets of Main Street, I felt a tug. It was an old man who identified.
Is this man? There's so many crazy stories at Disneyland. I really want to have enough, like, I don't know, just know somebody that works at Disneyland and get in at night. It just seems like it would be really scary and fun. I saw Disney was a price for the hot dog. Yeah, no kidding, man. Prices. That's why I want to go at night, so nothing's open and I don't even have the choice to buy anything, you know?
Trying to free the devil. I know this sounds crazy, but CERN is a company that is heavily funded and claims that their work helps uncover what the universe is made out of and how it works. Basically giving us a better understanding on how the Big Bang happened and how our universe was created. But there's some things that truly scare me. For one, did the company go out of their way to build a facility on where the devil himself lives and sits on his throne. You see, in the Bible, in Revelation chapter 2,
That's
verse
what they did.
13, Jesus says Satan's throne is in the same city in which Saint Antipas was unalived. Biblical researchers found that Saint Antipas's life was taken under Emperor Nero in a city called Lyon, which is known today as Geneva, Switzerland. That's exactly where CERN so happened to have built their company's facilities and campus. If you pay attention to CERN's logo, it strangely has 3 6s, and you know exactly what that means. Elon Musk himself calls CERN's technology demonic. Oh, and if that's not weird enough for you, they have a statue on their campus of the god Shiva, which is known as the Destroyer. One night, someone actually filmed a group of people who worked at CERN performing a human sacrifice in front of the campus's Shiva statue.
What the They can't show anything. They wouldn't be able to put that on TikTok. I definitely wouldn't be able to put it on YouTube. What the?
When asked about it in an interview, a spokesperson for CERN said that it was only a prank and that no one was actually harmed. Yeah, sure. A prank. Ha ha. Ha. How do you get caught doing something weird and then go, guys, relax, it's a prank, bro? Anyways, they have a machine called the Hadron Collider, the largest and most powerful particle accelerator ever built. It has only had 2 runs in its lifetime. Some people believe that this machine is actually a portal to another dimension, and that their plan is to work and find a way to release the devil himself out of hell, which would not only release him, but a bunch of demons down there as well. Now, there is some science to this because it creates incredibly high energy collisions with particles, which can theoretically open up a portal or tear the fabric of space-time. Now, there's no exact scientific proof of this, but who knows? Now, let's say none of this is true. There are other concerns concerning CERN. Try saying that 10 times fast. A genius and protege coined the name one of the world's smartest kids, who also created a free energy machine at the age of only 13, has warned us and said that he believes that CERN's experiments are threatening to break the fabric of our existence, and they have already moved us to a parallel reality that is similar to our own.
If there are other universes, they're next to ours, and this actually relates to my theory of the Mandela effect and how the particle accelerator altered the weight of one electron and therefore destroyed our universe and shifted us into the universe that's directly next to it, and therefore things are different in this universe.
Have you ever woke up and felt things were a little off? Something's a little different? You're not where you belong? Or maybe you remember Pikachu having black at the tip of his tail, the Monopoly Man having a monocle, or that there was a Boots popsicle, even though they claim one never existed. Well, maybe we're not tripping. Maybe we're not in our original reality. I mean, a man has supposedly caught a video of the Berenstain Bears book slowly transitioning into a parallel universe and becoming Berenstain Bears.
This just creeps me out, man.
Come on.
When I sleep in here, you look at that. That is changing right there. It's changing right there.
I mean, who knows?
All right. Come on. I would need to see that in person. There's not a chance I would ever believe that. I mean, look, CERN's doing some crazy stuff. I've actually, it's funny because every time he did a really good job on that video. Because I kept thinking things, and then he kept being like every time I would think, oh yeah, I remember hearing this about it, and then he would be like, and actually, and then he would say the next thing. But it does make sense that it would be a prank, because if I remember correctly, I've read about this in the past, and if I remember correctly, there was like college visitors or something to the campus, and they did this whole thing in the middle of the night to kind of play into all the conspiracy theories. But I don't know if they're like, I don't know, dude, I don't know, maybe they are devil worshippers. I don't know. Snowy, all good. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you being there in every video. You're awesome. Have a good night. Look at you, Johnny, on the last one. You looked at the camera. I got 2 screens going on. I'm trying to look at the camera. I'm trying to get better at it. Weird to look straight into the camera. I'm not used to live streaming. But I'm also looking over here at the chat because I got camera full screen so I can watch the videos, and then the chat over here on my second screen. Let's see. I remember Berenstein Bears. Yeah, I remember Berenstein Bears as a kid. I never remember seeing Stain. I don't know about that video. I don't know. I feel like it's probably fake so that the guy could get a ton of views on TikTok or whatever. But yeah, I don't know about that. But I remember Berenstein Bears for sure. Whoa, Helen, thank you. Appreciate it. Helen is a regular. She's been in, I think, every premiere that we did for TikToktober. So thank you, Helen. Appreciate you. Thank you, Helen. Appreciate it. You're awesome. Appreciate all the support. Soju Chicken. Remember 4 people in Kennedy's car. Oh, wild. I was not alive for Kennedy, so I don't remember that. So I've only ever seen videos. But I did go to Dallas and stand in that spot a few years back. That was kind of cool. And I gotta say, I don't know if you can make the shot from that window. Just my opinion. Yeah, I always remember 4 people in the car too. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that was a Mandela effect. That's pretty cool. Mandela effect, right? Because it's Nelson Mandela, right? Yeah. All right, jump back in this. Oh, did that actually work? Yeah, cool. The little pop-up thing worked, I think. See if it works. Sweet. The whole reason I got this black bar at the bottom right under me is because I tried to do a little chat pop-ups, all the chats. Yeah, there it goes. Sweet. So it would have all the chat pop-ups and anytime people subscribed and all that stuff, so it's fun. But at least that one works, so the chat doesn't pop up there yet, but I'll figure that out and we'll have it next time. All right, we'll get back into this. Enough of my rambling.
Knows the Mandela effect could possibly be the aftermath of CERN doing these so-called experiments. Why can't they move me to a reality where there's no bills, no rent? This earth is ghetto. I mean, we got good chicken though. We got some good chicken. By the way, comment 1 Mandela effect that you found out or remember. Now you may think this is all a bunch of malarkey, but there's been experts in the science community who have actually came out and warned us of the same thing the kid did. They're saying CERN running these experiments could create a black hole that would devour our world. Francis Calligero, a nuclear physicist who was co-winner of a Nobel Peace Prize, published an article titled, "Might a Laboratory Experiment Destroy Planet Earth?" The essay sparked a series of debates that were never ending and lasted years. People all over the world was concerned that CERN might destroy us all. Okay, portals to hell, switching realities, creating black holes. There can't possibly be any more concerns, right? Sadly, there are. I'm just as shocked as you. Now, you know I said that people believe that CERN is opening portals to different realities or a different dimension, maybe even different worlds. People believe that this is where these beings called reptilians or what we see as aliens are coming from. They're not traveling billions and billions of light years of space to get here. CERN is just inviting them through their front door. I mean, there's hundreds of species that have said to be walking amongst us today. Pleiadianos, the Greys, the Arcturianos. That many species can't be traveling through space to hit Earth. Someone has even claimed to have footage of one of these species.
Like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard.
That's not the footage from
I swear to
that.
God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we just terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large.
Calm down, y'all. That's just my ex. She loves nature. All honesty, I can't tell if that video is real or CGI. It's just too realistic with the muscles in the back and everything. But what do you guys think? Should we be worried about?
He can't tell if that's real or CGI, really. It was very clearly CGI. That's also not the video that was with that voicemail. The video that was with that voicemail, you couldn't see anything. You could supposedly see a reflection. And maybe it was real, I don't know. But you could supposedly see a reflection of an alien in like a tractor or something. Unless there's some other video of it that night that I haven't seen. Oh, Chris gifted another, man, Chris is another huge shout out to Chris. Chris has been super supportive of this channel and I'm pretty sure Snowy was the first and Chris was the second member of this channel. And Chris has been dropping gifts to channel memberships in the chat of like all the premieres this week. So thank you, Chris. He just dropped another one. So special shout out to Chris. I do have some special shout outs planned in the future to add to videos and stuff. Nice. Yeah, I do have some special shout outs and stuff planned for the future, and Chris will definitely be getting one of those because, like I said, super supportive. Appreciate you, Chris. Nice. Brian got that, was gifted that membership by Chris. That's cool.
Appalachian area is the Mothman. But many people don't know his entire story, so I want to get into it from start to current. So let's get into it. The first reported occurrence would come from 2 grave diggers. Now, what did they see? they reported seeing a very large humanoid figure with giant wings and red eyes sitting on top of a tree. Now, just as soon as they make eye contact with this thing, it leaps from the tree and flies away right over them. The next sighting would occur a few years later to two couples who were driving through the TNT bunker area of Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And they would also report seeing a large humanoid figure with very large wings and red eyes. So they see this thing, they're in their car, and they immediately speed off. But this thing chases them. And as their car hits 100 miles per hour trying to get away from this thing, it is keeping up speed. So they go straight to the police station and file a report. And then after that, they go to the newspapers to tell them what they saw, and the newspapers deem this creature the Mothman, which is what it's known as today. Reports of this creature began to flood in, and they were super similar with the way he looks, but some stories were different. Reports also started coming in of strange lights flying around the sky and intimidating men in dark sunglasses and black suits walking around. Like I said, there was a lot of encounters that were reported, but one that sticks out to me happened to a man in Salem, West Virginia. He reported that he was watching TV one night and strange shapes began to show up on his TV while strange noises began happening outside. As soon as he stepped outside to investigate the strange noises, he was met with a horrible feeling, like instant dread. But that was not the only thing he was met with. He was also met with a pair of glowing red eyes. His dog would disappear soon after this, and he blames that figure for his dog disappearing. Now, most sightings of the Mothman revolve around you just seeing him and being chased, but some people actually report that he spoke to them and that he spoke of unspeakable tragedies that were going to occur to this town. And unfortunately, a bit after, that is what happened to Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Slightly before Christmas in 1967, a giant bridge holding rush hour traffic would collapse. Unfortunately, this would cause 50 people to lose their lives. Oof. Countless people report seeing the Mothman just before the bridge collapsed. Now, after this, sightings did begin to decline, but they never stopped, and he is still spotted to this day. Now, there are, of course, a lot of skeptics with this story, and one in particular was Dr. Robert Smith. He believes that the Mothman is nothing more than a sandhill crane that got into the materials of the TNT bunker and looks a little odd. I don't know about that. The most widely believed theory for skeptics is that it started off as a joke and spiraled out of hand. I feel like that one is probably more believable. Either way, the story flourished, and there's even a festival to celebrate the Mothman every year in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. This year, it's being held on September 16th and 17th. I did want to leave you with this picture. I saw it while I was researching, and it is believed to be an actual captured.
Curtain number one.
I've seen that before. Yeah, Mothman is a cool story. There's like, as you guys probably know, there's a whole town like dedicated to the Mothman. That's awesome. I want to go to that festival someday. I think that would be really fun. And that picture, it kind of reminds me, every once in a while, there's reports that come out of some guy flying jetpacks around LAX, and they have to like shut the airport down, and it kind of looked like that, but they haven't caught the guy that I know of. But yeah, that's kind of what that reminds me of. Yeah, I will check that out. Imagination Podcast. I'll add that. I started the list of everything that people recommend me so I can actually keep up with it and go check stuff out. Because otherwise I'm just going to forget everything. So I started the list. I'm going to add that to it and I'll check it out. Let's see. I'm just happy. So I found you. At least you're not boring. Hey, Gary, thank you. I try not to be boring. But I mostly just try to like be myself and talk to you guys, just kind of work with what you guys are giving me, you know, and the videos, obviously working with what the videos are giving me. This is dope though, having it live like this and being able to interact with everyone. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. I'm gonna try to do these once a week, and then I'm gonna do another one that'll probably be a little bit shorter than the ones than like this public one that I do. Another live stream at some point. I don't know when I'm gonna get it started, but for like a members only live stream, so it'll be a lot less people, but you know, hopefully it'll encourage people to join the channel if they're able. You know, I don't want to pressure anybody to do anything they can't or, you know, can't afford to do. Like, by all means, the content's free. Watch it. And I appreciate like watching the channel, and liking the videos is more than payment enough. Like, really is.
Heard of the Indonesian urban legend of the Jenglot? The Jenglot is a mysterious and controversial creature in Indonesian folklore. It is often described as a small humanoid figure, usually measuring a few inches in length. The creature has sharp fangs, long hair, and is believed to have mystical powers. Its appearance
And it's a ugly mug. Ew, this thing is hideous, bro. Like, you need a haircut, you need some braces, you need some lotion for sure. Jesus.
It's said to be grotesque and eerie. The legend of the Jenglot has gained attention in Indonesia and other parts of Southeast Asia. Some people claim to have found or possessed these creatures, which are said to bring good luck, wealth, or even the ability to grant wishes to their owners. The Jenglot is often associated.
I take back everything I just said. I'm sorry, Jenglot. You're beautiful, and you don't need lotion at all. You aren't ashy in the least. I wish you would come grant me luck and riches and all that stuff.
Associated with supernatural abilities and is sometimes kept in a container, such as a small box for protection and display. However, skepticism surrounds the existence of the Jenglot. Many people believe that these creatures are simply hoaxes or elaborate scams created for profit. Skeptics argue that the Jenglot could be made into various materials and are sometimes created to resemble tiny dolls with human-like features. While the authenticity of the Jenglot is debated, the legend has captured the imagination of many and remains an intriguing part of Indonesian folklore and popular culture.
There's something much worse going on behind the scenes.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the crap I have to cut out. Like these video game reviews where they don't even tell you anything that happens. Like it's... We're having fun. There's no ending. Like, or the part twos. The part twos really get me going, dude. Don't get me started on the part twos, bro. Don't get me... No, I'm just kidding.
A noise like this, don't move. Stay where you are.
Oh, we've seen this one before, but it's creepy.
The rest of this video is truly frightening, but before I show it to you,
It's also copyright music, but I'll have to cut it out later. It's all good.
Who have liked and shared this video. This is the
Love
story
that.
of a young girl named Marie.
I can only protect my subscribers that have liked and shared this video. It's ridiculous, man. Hey, look, I appreciate everybody liking a video. I appreciate the subscribes and everything, but I'm not going to ever say anything dumb like that. I can protect my... Come on. Look, I can't protect any of y'all. I'm sorry. I appreciate you, but I can't protect you from anything, you know?
This is the mind-blowing 9/11 conspiracy theory. Okay, so this theory says on September 11, 2001, the terrorist attacks in the World Trade Center in New York City were not carried out solely by Al-Qaeda terrorists, but instead involved some level of government involvement or cover-up. One of the key arguments for this theory is that the collapse of the World Trade Center buildings showed very similar characteristics with controlled demolition projects, such as a symmetrical collapse, because in the videos you can see the buildings fall down perfectly symmetrical, which honestly really doesn't happen. Another key argument is that jet fuel oil can't burn through steel like that, and even if it could, why would it make the building collapse just like it did? But one of the biggest claims made by people who believe this theory is that these attacks were allowed to happen or even orchestrated by high-level officials within the United States government as a way to initiate wars in the Middle East for oil, which they point out we literally did. They also did it for surveillance power across the world and furthering their own agenda. Many conspiracy theorists believe that George W. Bush was behind this whole attack, but there's also a deeper theory that his vice president Dick Cheney was behind it, who theoretically was completely running the United States and George W. Bush was just his right-hand man. So he was just the vice president to George W. Bush, but in reality the president. But keep in mind, just a theory. So all in all, do you think the United States was really willing to kill thousands of Americans that day just for money, world power, surveillance, and control? Or do you think this was solely carried out by the terrorist group Al-Qaeda? I think this is one of the most interesting and 50-50 conspiracy theories out there, because everybody and everyone has an opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's, you can find evidence either way. I think they probably knew something, they as in the American government, probably knew something was likely to happen and probably could have done a little more to prevent things from happening and didn't, so that they could go places they wanted to go. But other than that, I'm not an expert. I don't know. I'm just some dumb guy on the internet, so. We live in the 3D. What if... Ooh, let's think about this for a second, because that's interesting. Trayvon said, we live in the 3D. What if CERN is trying to move us into the 4D? So more kind of a positive spin on the whole CERN situation. That could be interesting. Maybe they're trying to advance us and not like open up portals to hell or whatever all that crazy stuff was. Yeah, I like that. That could be interesting. Maybe 40 is how we get accepted into the Galactic Federation or whatever. Man, that's an interesting thought. Thanks for the question, Trayvon. Appreciate it. Do you believe in ghosts? I believe in ghosts, yeah. I don't know if I believe in them specifically as we understand them now. I don't know. There's something there that's happening that we don't fully understand. Whether they're like spirits that are left because they have unfinished business or whatever, I don't know. But I mean, they could all be the same thing. I've had an interesting thought kind of recently. All these like cryptids and like skinwalkers. Skinwalkers in particular is what made me think of it. Skinwalkers can shapeshift into different animals and stuff, right? So who's to say they can't shapeshift into all these other things that we're seeing, basically? Like, maybe skinwalkers are Bigfoot and the Chupacabra and like every cryptid, and maybe they're also ghosts, and maybe they're also aliens. Like, maybe it's all just the same thing, and they're shapeshifters, so they can do whatever they want. I don't know, just a thought. But yes, I believe in ghosts, to answer your question. Let's see. Get one more question real quick. Do you have a Discord? I am working. I know it's not that hard to start a Discord. I've never really used Discord a whole lot, so it's on my list of things to do, to start a Discord and get it up and running. And I might do like a members only Discord to start, just make it more manageable so that I can actually keep up with it. Not to exclude anybody or anything, just really so I can just keep up with it. But eventually I will have like a channel wide Discord that everyone can go in there. And the idea being that, people can go in there and chat just any time of the week, but mainly so that people can go in there and drop if they find scary footage and they either want to see me react to it or they haven't seen me react to it or whatever. They just want to share it. And then eventually I can get to a point where I can just open the Discord and have a Discord video, like do a whole video of just reacting to stuff that people send in the Discord. So yes, eventually I will have a Discord. Anyway, all right. Thank you, Debbie, for the question. Do I sell any merchandise? Not yet, Helen. But I do have some ideas. Like, I've had some ideas kicking around in my head for some merch and stuff, so I don't know what kind. But if you guys have any recommendations, let me know of, like, the kind of merch you like to buy, whether it's just, like, t-shirts and hats, or if you want, I don't know, weird stuff. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the video.
Sent in a story that their husband told them about their childhood, and it is quite eerie. So he and his sister used to live with their uncle, and one night they're just sitting on the floor watching TV. Their uncle says, "Hey, you guys be good. I am gonna go out and feed the dogs." So as soon as he gets up and leaves, there is a knock on the screen door, and their husband gets up to check it, and there's no one there. So as he's still standing there, there's another knock. So quickly he opens up the door to see what it is, and a hand reaches in and swings the door open. He is met with some sort of creature, 7 feet tall, no face, covered in mud and bugs. Not only is he met with this thing, it charges in the house. So his sister's screaming. At this point, their husband has fallen down because it's ran past them, and he starts kicking it because, like, what else are you gonna do, right? So his sister's got his face buried in the couch screaming. This man's on his butt kicking this thing. Brave. So their uncle hears this commotion and comes running back in, and as soon as he opens the door to run back in, this thing charges out the door and disappears into thin air. So of course the uncle didn't see it. The uncle thinks that they made it up or they dreamt it, but it would be weird that they had the same dream and that they fell asleep that fast. So I don't think it was a dream. So they go to their room, they sleep in bunk beds, and his sister says that all night she can hear this thing calling her and taunting her, like just outside. So they're telling their spouse the story, and they're like, "Listen, you don't believe me? Call my sister right now without any prompt." So out of curiosity, they call up his sister. Exact same story, to a T. The description of that thing and the fact that it charged, I'd never seen.
Man. Wild. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, brave for real. Facts about tigers.
Keeps you up at night. According to researchers, tiger roars can have a paralyzing effect since they can also produce a low frequency infrasound that we can't hear but can feel through vibration. Which means you can feel the roar, you just can't hear it or where it's coming from, and the brief moment of confusion this causes is all the time they need to take you off the senses. Some tigers will imitate the sounds of their prey like sandbar deer and black bear in order to get their guard down. Full disclosure, I don't know how true this part is, but I've even read reports of Amur tigers imitating the mating call of female black bears in order to catch a male slipping. A literal catfish. In areas known for tiger attacks, people people started wearing backward masks in order to convince the tigers that they lost the element of surprise, since you know they're ambush hunters. But apparently the tigers realized it was a bluff, because tiger attacks in those same areas have been on the rise. In the 1900s, a female tiger was severely injured by a hunter and couldn't hunt her normal prey, so she went on to murk 436 people. And she was even smart enough to avoid the hunters that went after her for weeks, all while catching new bodies left and right. There's more tigers in the United States than in the wild in the rest of the world combined, and the second largest population of tigers in the world is in Texas. The more you know.
The worst video I've
Yeah, I've heard that before. The second largest population of tigers is in Texas. My mom used to live in Texas. I've heard that. I never saw a tiger in Texas, but I haven't spent that much time there. Are you in Texas and you own a tiger? Please get in contact with me. I would love to speak with you and know everything about you. Because, what?
I've seen on the dark web. I found it on a hidden place where everything is posted anonymously. There are countless mysterious videos of this type on the dark web. But this one talks about mermaids. In fact, according to the video's author, mermaids do exist. What do you think?
And we've seen this. This is Avatar level graphics right here. So dumb. That one's new. I haven't seen this one, but I'm sure it's just as fake. Yep. Alright, you guys see what I'm dealing with? I know I did put that one in a video in the past just because I wanted people to see how bad some of these are, but that one is so bad. I don't get how they even get included in compilations and stuff. That's wild. Talon said, I love tigers. I have a big ginger cat called Freddy. That's awesome. I love cats. I'm more of a dog person, but I love cats. I never understood the whole like, I'm a dog person, I hate cats, or I'm a cat person, I hate dogs. They're awesome. Both of them are awesome. We have these domesticated wild beasts that live in our house and don't maul us to death. It's sick.
1926. In 1991, a German historian by the name of Hermann Illig proposed a theory called phantom time hypothesis, suggesting that the years 814 through 911 AD never happened. Well, you see, Illig claimed that these years were actually made up by the Holy Roman Emperor Otto III, Pope Sylvester II, and Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII, by altering documentation and converting the Gregorian calendar in order to fast forward time to the sacred year 1000 AD, as Otto's ruling that starts on the millennial year 1000 AD would sound much better and be more legitimate. This theory is further backed up, as while there are written documents, there seem to be a lot of missing artifacts from those 297 years. Looking at the example of how Tartaria was written out of existence, it seems like it really wouldn't be that hard for the elites of the world to rewrite history, and just maybe.
Alright guys.
Look, back in the day when they could pull that kind of crap off, it's possible. I feel like so much stuff has been erased from history that we'll just never know about, and things have been rewritten that we'll just never know, and we just believe to be true because we have no other way of knowing. And there's, well, everyone's heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they're working on decoding those or whatever, translating those. But there's also, I want to say it was in India, there's like this huge uncovered library that somebody found just behind a wall, and it's got like thousands of ancient texts that they're now working on translating. So that should be interesting. See what comes out of that over the next like 5 to 10 years.
Right guys, let's talk about the exorcism of Annalise Michel. The girl behind me is Annalise Michel, and she went through 67 exorcisms. But let's rewind a little bit. When she was 16, she had a seizure that caused psychosis. Shortly after, she was also diagnosed with depression. By the time she was 20, she became intolerant of a lot of religious objects, and she heard voices in her head. After 5 years of the psychiatric medication not helping her, her family was convinced that she was possessed. This was around the 60s or 70s, so medications back then were not that great. So, because her parents thought she was possessed, they got priests to come and give her exorcisms. They stopped consulting the doctors for their daughter's mental health issue. Because she was not on any meds or getting actual medical help, she died of malnutrition and dehydration. This is one of the only exorcism cases that actually went to court. The 2 priests that performed the exorcisms and her parents all went to court, and they were convicted and found guilty. The priest got 6 months of probation. On the autopsy report, it also revealed she had broken knees and contracted pneumonia. This is all on top of being malnourished and dehydrated. Her death also inspired the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose. So that is the story of Annalise Michel's exorcism. Let me know what you guys think about this story in the comment section below and comment for what you want to see next.
Yeah, that's a really sad one. Yeah, we've covered that one before. It's really sad. He at least didn't show the, like, I don't think, maybe I missed it, the really, really scary looking pictures with her face all sunken in and she's been, like, not eating for a while. And it's really sad.
His 4-year-old daughter was drawing this woman holding her hand. They asked her about it and she said her name was Margaret, the sister of my friend's wife. Then a few weeks later, my friend said he heard his daughter talking to someone, but when he went into the room, there was no one there, not even a stuffed animal in front of her. When he asked if she was in the room, the girl pointed at the corner of the wall and said she was there. They eventually moved out and said that something like this has never happened again.
The worst video found on the dark web.
Hello?
This video was posted anonymously on the dark web, so it's impossible to know what these people have become. The only information I could find was that these people were apparently hiking when they heard a noise on a bridge, and after getting closer, they made a terrifying discovery.
What is it doing?
I don't know. Hey!
Are you alright?
Really?
Oh. Babe. Oh my god.
Son of a woman.
I don't know what the fuck it is. Look at me shake. Hello?
Hey.
Man, it's gonna be a jump scare because it's like pulling you in, trying to get you to look at it.
Do you need help?
Babe, that thing don't have a face.
Are you alright?
What is that?
I don't know what they're looking at. Alright.
I'm sorry for you. I hope you're not in these categories, but if you know someone who is, send this to them as a warning. It is indeed proven that these signs attract bad spirits 100 times more than usual. In 5th place, we find the Virgo sign, which is often drawn to bad spirits. In 4th place, I really wouldn't want to be a Libra, as they are very sensitive to dark energies. In 3rd place, there's the Scorpio sign, which is deeply connected to bad spirits, so one needs to be very cautious. In 2nd place, we find the Sagittarius sign, who've had many unfortunate events happen to them. Before I tell you the top spot, want to mention that I can only protect those who are subscribed and have claimed a protective ticket in the comments. The astrological sign that attracts the most bad spirits is Capricorn. It indeed happens that 1 in 10 people get possessed in their lifetime because of this sign, so be very careful.
1 in 10 people? I want to know where they got that statistic. I would love to know. Have you been possessed and you're one of those signs? Let me know in the chat. Stupid. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe some signs are more attuned to all that kind of stuff. My sign wasn't on that list though, so Helen said, I'm Scorpio. No, that ain't true. So there you go. There's one. I'm sure, you know, it's probably true. I don't know that it has anything to do with your zodiac sign. I think it's just some people are more attuned to it than others. Maybe there's a little bit of truth to it, but I'm sure there's so many people that there's going to be the range within every zodiac sign of people who are very attuned to that kind of stuff and people who aren't, you know, like if that stuff is real. So yeah, I don't know. Jane Doe the villain. Are you a Gemini, Johnny? I am. Yeah, it would be odd if I was like a Virgo or something. No, I mean, I wouldn't be odd if I was a Virgo. It'd be odd if I was some other zodiac sign, but did Gemini Johnny because it sounded good. Yeah, I'm a Gemini, full on. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I like it. It works for me. So yeah, let's get back to it.
Closed. 30
don't really have a choice.
2018, a YouTuber was exploring the park and entered it.
Oh, we've seen this one. It's so creepy.
Statue. It didn't seem like anything.
I didn't see the beginning of this though.
Although when the group began to head out, this was captured. It looks like something was moving in the distance. Upon further inspection, they found the Snow White statue from the front of the park. Now it's here near the back.
Yeah, that one was weird. It cut out a lot, but
the night shift in some kind of strange private excavation site. He says strange things always happen at the place, and he is the only god left who is willing to work the night shift. So he begins to document his nightly rounds in the facility, capturing strange and unexplainable events with each day. And on one particular night, when he is walking through the place, something truly horrifying happens.
Alright. This is gonna be something real fake. because they're trying real hard to make this creepy. It is a creepy place. It's very like Backspaces type of place. But yeah, they're trying way too hard to make this scary. So I feel like it's either gonna be a jump scare. That was good.
Unfortunately, I had to mute the audio due to copyright reasons. But as you can
I feel that.
Tim is violently dragged and lifted up the wall, while moaning and groaning in pain as he struggles, before he comes crashing down to the ground. A strange shadow of a face also manifests on the wall briefly before disappearing, and after investigating the place more, he noticed some kind of strange maintenance shaft door on the ceiling, and after recording it, he captures this.
See, when you fake something first, it's hard for me to believe something like this. Like, if you would have just posted this, I'd have been like, that's pretty creepy. It probably could have been faked, but it's pretty creepy. But this isn't...
After recording the area for a while, he notices the door starts moving by itself. And on night 11 of his traumatizing experience, he does the unthinkable and musters the courage to go inside and explore. What he captures would send most people running straight away.
Whoa. It looks like one of those things from earlier. Or is it a little statue? Does he not see it? It's like a weird little statue thing. Sorry. It's like a little statue thing. It's not weird. I don't know what it is yet, so I don't want to be calling it names and stuff, you know? We're still in the same... Oh. Now it kind of doesn't look like a statue. It looks like a plug-in with a bunch of wires going into it. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. No, that was a hand, bro. See, if that was the only video...
Just like the guy with the fish tank, a creepy hand can be seen holding on to some kind
But yeah,
of
it does look pretty CGI now. I'm looking at it a second time though.
Tim only
Second
noticed
time.
it once it moved away. He now believes that he needs to recover that statue.
I was not expecting that to move though. I think it did. It looked like a statue, right? I'm not tripping. All right. Yeah, it was like a statue that turned into a hand that decided to move. I don't know. Oh yeah. Well, I got everybody here. Before I jump back into the video, hit the like. I always forget to do it when I'm watching videos, and it does actually help the channel a lot. So yeah, appreciate it. Let's see. The truth isn't that entertaining though. Yeah, that's true. The truth is not always that entertaining, but I think it's more important. Ultimately, I really do. I think we have plenty of entertainment. Not a lot of truth, you know? And the truth can be entertaining. It depends on how you package it, you know? So hopefully I can package some truth into an entertaining little bundle. That's what I'm trying to do. So, let's see. I think I dig your live. Your audience is pretty cool too. Not a bunch of weirdos. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I'm lucky or if it's just, you know, your vibe attracts your tribe, that kind of thing, or what. But yeah, everybody that I've talked to, everyone that I've been connected with and have been chatting with through the premieres and now through this live, everyone's been really cool. Everyone seems really nice and nobody's been saying like wild stuff or weird stuff. So that's appreciative. The truth on certain subject gets you shut down. I've seen it happen firsthand. Hey, if I were to reveal some truths that were important enough for someone to flip a switch to shut me down, I think I'd probably be on the right path, right? I'm not bringing the cabal down. Like, they're not worried about me. Don't worry about it. But, hey, that would be wild. Imagine if they shut my YouTube down because I tell the right truths. I've studied the terms of service pretty thoroughly on here just to make sure I'm not violating any of them. And I think I'm good. All right, let's get back to it.
Dad left our home for a couple of weeks, and my grandma took care of me. I was used to it at this point because she would always watch me whenever my parents would go somewhere. This time was different, however, because I stayed at her house even though we always stayed at our house. My mom said we couldn't stay at our home this time because my grandma was sick. The day we stayed at her house, my mom and I were arguing. I was 10 or 11 at the time, and she said I hope the devil sees you and scares you.
Don't you ever say that to me, Grandma. I love you, but...
I just said yeah, whatever, and didn't think anything of it. But later that night, my brother and Grandma went to go get something from the store, and I stayed back at her house. I was watching TV, and out of nowhere, I heard something fall in the room next to where I was. I went to go check it out, and saw nothing. But when I turned back around, I locked eyes with what I can only assume was the devil himself. It had red eyes and large horns. It just looked at me and randomly screamed at me. I was so scared I couldn't move. My body completely froze up. And just as quick as I saw it, it just vanished. I remained frozen in place until my grandma and brother came back home. When they finally came home, I snapped out of it and just rubbed it off. Later that night, I must have wandered out of my bed while I was asleep, sleepwalking, and was found next to a tree the next day. I had scratch marks all over my body and my face. The scratches burned so bad, so my grandma put holy water on me. When she did that, I started vomiting, and while I was vomiting, my grandma and brother both heard a scary voice say, "I'm coming for you," in Spanish.
This is why you shouldn't answer to knocking. User WingMacPix uploaded an ominous video where he explains that something wandering inside his house is knocking on doors until it's ordered to stop.
This happens over and over.
Oh yeah,
the knocking, the knocking.
This one's weird.
There it is. It just goes and goes until you tell it to stop. Can you stop, please? It's just right there.
He's like, I don't want to stop.
That's you. Okay. Whatever you are, you gotta go. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I'd be out too.
If you have this
yeah,
name,
that one's crazy.
I feel sorry for you.
I've seen that before,
but it's really looking bad for you. If you know someone with one of these names, it's time to share this video with them urgently. It's better for everyone. According to studies, there are names that have the peculiarity of often being dangerous and easy to being possessed. So it can be dangerous for several reasons: in words, in deeds, or with really malicious thoughts. This ranking will therefore allow you to be careful about who you meet. We start right away with the third position in this ranking as a male name, that of a very famous YouTuber. It's the name Cole. In second position of people considered as the most dangerous and sometimes possessing, we find this time a female name, and it's the name Madison. And finally, at the top of the most dangerous people, whether by deeds or by thoughts, we find a mixed name. I sincerely hope there aren't many who watch the video. I'm a little afraid of them. They can be hysterics because of spirits and demons, but it's the name Mason.
The name Mason?
Oh,
is that like
a nice snack?
Freemasons or something?
Like, that's it.
What was that?
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. When creating the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, they couldn't create skeletons that looked realistic enough, so they used real human skeletons. Since then, they've removed all but one. Ducks sometimes become cannibals due to boredom, meaning they kill and eat each other. This behavior begins as early as 4 weeks old. In its natural habitat, a blowfish isn't actually ugly. This is one 3,000 feet below sea level. But this is one after extreme tissue damage after being pulled up rapidly by a fisherman. Men who are hanged get what is called a death erection, which I'm assuming is pretty awkward for the family. The first firefighter killed in 9/11 attacks was struck dead by a falling body in the courtyard. One of them was killed on his way in, and the other was killed on his way out. Right now, there are tiny little bugs on your face munching on your dead skin. Your bones are wet. If you don't have kids, you'll break an unbroken line of children that has gone on for tens of millions of years. A scientist studying death asked a man who was about to be executed by a guillotine if he would blink after his head was chopped off. He ended up blinking for 30 seconds.
It's not how that story went. At least I've heard that story go very much differently. Supposedly some doctor was doing a study and said his name and the head looked at him or something. But dumb. Alright.
At night. We all know how there's some videos where you just can't watch them at night because they're that scary. Well, in series, I'll be showing you all of those videos. So, be ready to get terrified.
Who are you?
Nope. I mean, it seems like a horror movie or something, but that's really terrifying. It's time to grab a baseball bat.
Well, I know I'm not sleeping after watching that video. This video has been going viral recently, and nobody knows the origins of it. It shows what appears to be a ghostly woman standing outside of some man's window at night, and she says something took her daughter and did this to her, but nobody knows what that is. The man who uploaded the video hasn't updated anybody on if you've seen her again, or if he's okay, leaving people to worry about him. But I can't imagine looking out my window at night and seeing.
I bet I can make you hate this guy in 60 seconds. This is Alice Herlichka, and he was a collector for the Smithsonian Museum in the early 1900s. And if you're thinking, oh, this is the dead-eyed stare of someone who was up to no good, you'd be right. See, Alice had collected 268 brains for the museum to display, and about 264 of those brains were from people he targeted. So for example, in 1904, Alice went to the St. Louis World's Fair to hunt for some targets. That's where he found an exhibit of Filipino people who had been trafficked to America basically for white people to gawk at. And the whole thing was tragic. People were forced to eat dogs in front of people, the conditions were just terrible, and as a result, some of the people who were brought here died. These people were hastily buried, so Alice dug them up, stole their brains, and brought them to the Smithsonian Museum. And that's all because he was a huge supporter of eugenics. He wanted to prove that their brains were actually smaller than average. The Smithsonian still has a lot of these remains and they don't know what to do with them. They've publicly apologized, but it's really hard for them to tell what remains belong to who and how to contact their families. Anyways, if you want to hear more about the messed up trade of human remains, I have a whole episode.
A lot of these TikTokers have zero interest in the truth. They'll post anything and say this is a real video. Not me. I'm gonna call everything bullshit. I'm gonna say when I think it's fake. Those mermaids over there, it was such bad CGI. Ridiculous.
It would be very difficult for you to notice anything strange about them. I challenge you to see the glitch in the matrix in each one of them. This first video was recorded by Nick R and YouTube. It would be very difficult for you to notice this one. Pay close attention. Nick claims that after reviewing the video, he was terrified by seeing this white object fall out of nowhere.
What?
This second video was taken in Japan, and I can assure you that this was actually on television, but it might have been too fast for the audience to notice.
The hell?
The crew claims that there was no one behind the man while they were recording, but days before, a woman died in a very horrible circumstance around the place.
Nope.
There really is a haunted bench in Mexico of McDonald's famous clown, Ronald. It's one of the strangest stories I've heard. The story goes that two young men came out of a nightclub and were starving to death. They started looking for food. They both decided to eat at McDonald's. And once their food has been served, they both sat on the Ronald McDonald's bench outside the restaurant. You may not be familiar with them, but there are plenty of them in America. In France, they were withdrawn at the same time as Ronald the Clown many years ago, for a terrible reason. I'd be delighted to tell you all about it in part 2.
That would be a sick costume.
It's a strange bench because There was a statue of Clown Ronald in the middle of the bench, arms outstretched. His face had a demonic, almost horrible expression. One of the men finally lay down on Ronald's lap and said, "I'm tired." At that moment Ronald McDonald's head turned. He looked down and said, "I'm tired too." Legend has it that they were so surprised to hear this. One of them died instantly and the other is still in a coma.
That sounds believable.
The security cameras outside the restaurant recorded everything. It is also said that McDonald's paid a considerable amount of money to conceal the incident, as he did not want the public to know that they have a truly haunted statue of the clown Ronald McDonald.
Mercy Brown, a haunting figure.
I have to go find some of those benches and
is often
slap them up a little bit.
The world's first female vampire. In the grip of a mysterious tuberculosis outbreak, her family faced the chilling belief that one of their own was feeding on their life force from beyond the grave. Mercy's exhumation in 1892, months after her death, revealed her corpse disturbingly preserved. This led to speculations of vampiric activity.
Gross.
Though science now explains the preservation as a result of the cold, dry conditions, the legend of Mercy Brown endures. Her tale of death, disease, and desperation reflects the superstitious era's struggle to comprehend the unexplainable. The vampire lore she unintentionally sparked continues to captivate, reminding us of humanity's deep-seated fears and our need to rationalize the inexplicable. Now what do you think? Subscribe and follow for more.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know. I read it was like an imagine this type of thing, you know, and they were like, what if vampires are these things that come out like every 500 years and they go into hibernation underground somewhere that we don't know about. They come out every 500 years, and like 500 years ago they were coming out, and I don't know. It's an interesting theory. They hibernate and go underground and stuff. Hey, I'm gonna try to do this every Friday at 4. Planning to do it next Friday, back here again. And, you know, if that ever changes, I'll let you guys know, I guess. I don't know. But for now, it's gonna be Fridays at 4 Pacific Standard Time, just to make that clear. A lot of people here today have been super regulars in all the premieres and stuff, so thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. This is it. This is the first live stream. We did it. We've done it. We're doing it some more. But thank you guys for being here. Yeah, hey, every Friday at 4. I think what I'm planning to do is to keep these lives, the full live, posted for channel members. And then I'm gonna drop an edit of the live on Tuesday. And then I'm gonna drop another reaction on Thursday. And then eventually I'm gonna drop the other videos on like 1 or 2 Sundays a month. So at least 2 videos and a live coming to you every single week. So keep an eye out for that. Before you leave, give this video a like. If you're not subscribed, do that. It helps the channel. It helps spread this to more people. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all for being here. You were a part of the first. JP, you were part of the first. If you ever want to go rewatch the live, join the channel, or I'll just see you live next Friday. So yeah, hey, one last time, thank you all for being here, and until next Friday, peace.